Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be located in the world. A very warm welcome from Siemens to our control panel webinar series. Today's webinar, Efficient Control Cabinet Construction, Save Time and Space with Siemens. My name is Jorge Olarte. I am business developer and technical consultant in Germany. I have been with Siemens for over 13 years now, and I've held positions in product management, application consulting, business development, and I've also been business unit responsible in Colombia, South America. It's an honor to be your speaker for today. Please, if you have questions as you go along, you can contact my colleagues and experts via chat at any point. They will answer as soon as possible, of course, depending on how many questions there are. Don't worry if they don't respond immediately. Every question will be answered, okay? Also, thank you for attending today's webinar, and I hope that you enjoyed it and get the most out of it. Before I get started, I would like to give you a brief overview of our tool On24. I hope that you have opened it in the Google Chrome browser to provide you, of course, the best quality regarding audio and graphics. If not, I would like to kindly ask you to close the application and sign in this browser. On the left-hand side, you will find a questions and answer or Q&A window. Please feel free to submit any questions or any thoughts you may have during this webinar and address it to us. We will try to provide you a clear and fast answer, or if there is not enough time, we will follow up with you after the webinar. In the lower area, you will find the user interface, some colored icons. The yellow icon marked with a question mark provides you a guidance in case of any problems with the On24 tool. So basically the help button for the tool. In the right hand side, you will find a resource list. If you don't see it, please click in the green button in this low area or the user interface that we just talked about, and then it should be visible. In this window, you will find information like brochures, catalogs about the topics we're going to cover today, and you may download them at any time. Okay? Please remember that everything we show today is based in the interpretation of Siemens, so actually we assume no liability. The examples are meant to give you orientation in how to accomplish typical tasks. You are responsible to check whether the application complies and is actually safe for the installation that you're gonna work with. The agenda for today, we will have a small introduction to get the basis of our knowledge aligned, and of course, some of the reasons why we're doing this webinar today. And then we will look at some solutions that Siemens has for saving both time and space. And as you will see, also cost-saving solutions for our control panel constructions. Then we will also see an overview of the tools that Siemens has developed for a better and faster way to electrical engineering of a control panel. Okay, then let's get started. Have you ever felt like this little guy here? And have you asked yourself a lot of questions while trying to optimize the way you design a control panel? Maybe you've asked yourself how to calculate heat rates for panels, or even if there are any performance level or safety certified products, how to select switchgear for which efficiency motors, or even if you change to a higher efficiency motor, do you need to change the switchgear products for this? How to get product information faster, or how to reduce engineering? Can Siemens actually help you with this implementation? Are there any E-plan macros or CAD drawings for products? What is actually machine safety and how can we achieve it? Is there any standard behind this? What is the difference between safety system and safety integrated products? How can Siemens products help you to reduce control cabinet size? How to establish end-to-end communications, and even how to integrate field device with PLCs. Are there any communication cable products? When needing to export, what standard do we actually need to follow? To answer all of these questions and many more is the reason why we're here. Of course, alongside these questions, there is also the issue of requirements in a control panel design, both for the requirements of design engineering and the requirements of the company. Let's focus first in the design engineering requirements. Basically, you're often trying, of course, to save space. And you're also trying, of course, to reduce wiring. All of this, of course, trying to achieve time savings. In a way, of course, to increase availability for your customer and to avoid errors. not only in the manufacturing of the control panel, but also for the production of the customer. All of this based in efficient and flexible design. Why? Because sometimes your customer actually tells you, well, sorry, we're not working anymore with a 5 horsepower motor. Now actually we're working with 10 horsepower motor. No, everything has to change. So you have to be really flexible and efficient with this. And of course, you have to follow standard codes or directives depending on where you are. But you know what? This is actually really aligned with the requirements of a company, because the company actually wants to be more efficient, wants to be more flexible, wants to be more fast in the lead times and how you produce products to the market. And in the end, you want to reduce cost, but of course, increase the profits of your company. Always having safe products and high quality. Well, the good thing is that we're going to show you today how the best way to your new control panel should be. You will see actually how fast, simple, and efficient you can improve today's solutions for tomorrow's control panel, and you can optimize with standard products. You will see how easy it is to implement the solutions for your next product. You can implement it now. And of course, once again, you don't need an expert, and you will see how easy to handle free tools for everyday tasks are. We enable you to design your control panel even more efficiently. So let's see directly what Siemens solutions have for saving time and space. Let's start with the spring-loaded connections and of course the benefits of the infit systems. Talking about spring-loaded connections, people always have doubts of this. People don't trust it and they like to feel the torque with the screw when you're using your hand and the screwdriver, right? So basically you're thinking, is this good enough? Is this strong enough? Your workers are already there, so you don't see any savings. You don't know actually if you need to use end sleeves or not end sleeves. Actually, you even think that with end sleeve, this doesn't work. And you actually think that this is more expensive. Well, let me answer a little bit of these questions. So let's have a closer look at the Sirius modular system. The system is available in both screw type and spring-loaded terminals. The basic features to expect are basically that we have a modular design with tailored and perfectly dimensioned products that can be expanded with standard accessory parts. It saves space. Actually, we have the best performance size to ratio on the market. And we also have an efficient configuration based in CAE systems for the implementation. But actually, I want you to start and move towards this. These connections actually give you a fast wiring in the most comprehensive spring-loaded terminal system in the market. Let me show you more about the spring-loaded terminals right now. The spring-loaded are strong. Actually, these terminals are just as reliable as the screw-type connections. Actually, in fact, they are more reliable in case of temperature changes and vibrations. This has been tested in accordance with directives and standards. The spring-loaded connections are flexible because you can have it with or without ferrules, single wire, multi-wire, rapidly and easily flexible. Spring-loaded connections are secure and safe. Do you have any applications with vibrations? Well, here, no more need to retighten screws after transporting control panels. This reduces the service and recommissioning time and reduces, of course, your costs. This is vibration proof. And the spring-loaded connections are fast. Let me show you how this works and how you can save time. You can speed up installation with plug-in connections and spring-loaded terminals, cut the installation time up to 50% and the installation costs by 33%. In the video I'm going to show you right now, a colleague of mine shows you how this is implemented.
Spring-loaded connections are fast. How long does it take to assemble one starter? 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 40 seconds only. You just need to align and push. Align and push. And then, using the spring-loaded connection, connect the cables. Reduce time and increase productivity. Enjoy the benefits of spring-loaded connection for the whole Sirius portfolio. Strong, flexible, safe, and fast. Now it's up to you.
As you can see, spring-loaded terminals are not only in motor starter protectors and contactors. You can also see them in overload relays, in self-starters, in safety relays applications, in monitoring relays, and many more. You can actually also implement terminal blocks with spring-loaded or cage clamp connections. You have a rapid time-saving installation, high reliable connection, and of course, everything done with standard accessories for every type of connection that you have here. To summarize, spring-loaded means strong, fast, flexible, and secure. And you know what? At the same time. And you know what? At the same price. So, as you see, we have a lot of advantages, no disadvantages. You get a modern spring-loaded terminal system for the same price as the screw-type terminal system. I invite you to try it out. Reduce time, space, and costs. Now that I've talked about the spring-loaded connections, let me tell you a little bit about what actually an infit system means. Have you ever seen this somewhere or something similar? Do you think that to build this type of control panels, it's easy? How many times do you think actually you need to check and recheck whether you have errors or not? Well, solutions like the ones in these two images were found in control panels until recently. Actually, you can still find them like this in the industry today. It takes a lot of time to wire the components in these cases, but this is not the only factor. The time you need for such configurations starts a lot earlier when you're actually measuring spacing, cutting cables to the right length, marking, and a lot of other things that you do before actually cabling. When you finish those tasks, you still need to connect the installed components and check for continuity. All these steps take a lot of time and are also sources of errors. We're humans. We can make mistakes. For all of you who are looking for a safer and more efficient solution for optimized control panel design, we have a solution. We have our 3RV29 infit system, time-saving, easy-to-fit, fail-safe system with a global certification. This infit system helps you to have a significant reduction of wiring and cabling. You can fit starters up to 63 amps with only one infit, with simple maintenance and compact design, also using standard products, and with maximum flexibility where you can combine direct starters, inverse starters, or even soft starters up to 32 amps, including overload relays in screw type or spring-loaded connections. You can achieve up to 150 kiloamp at 400 volts as short circuit current rating and as a tested combination. Of course, this reduces errors. Try it out. Saves time, space, and cost. This infit system helps you reduce cabling with a highly modular range that covers 80% of the motor sizes sold worldwide. Another advantage in these infit systems, actually, it allows you to do hot swapping. This means that you can change devices while the power is connected, not under load, but it remains safe to touch during the replacement, even if the starter has been removed. Reduce time, space, and as you have seen, also costs. Try to make your conventional design by using the infit system. Avoid errors and save time. We are now going to watch a short video to show you how easy the system actually is. My colleague will show you this.
Only my two hands used as tools, I will assemble now 4 starters ready for control connection within 80 seconds only. First, I will assemble the base to accept 4 starters using the expansion plug. And to remain finger-proof, don't forget to use the end cover part. Using the proper link module between the contactor and the MSP, I'm now assembling the 4 starters. You just need to align and push. Align and push. And please note that the infit system will also work with screw type devices. You just need to use the proper links. I'm now adding the base in the control panel by just snapping it down on the DIN rail. I'm adding now the 4 starters like so. Very easy. Finally, add the plug-in connectors. Click. Click. And finish. I have to mention that one of the biggest advantages with Sirius infeed system is that it allows you to change devices under voltage. Not under load, but still when voltage is present. And when the links are removed, you have a perfect visual of the three phases disconnected. The infeed system also remains finger-proof even when the starters are removed.
So, as you can see, this system has a lot of advantages. Reduce montage and preparation time. You have error-free connections. You have a modular and compact design using actually standard products. You can achieve type coordination too, up to 150 kiloamps at 400 volts. And you may have 63 amp per group of infeed. As you saw, you can use this with screw type and with spring type connections. Try it out, reduce time, space, and mounting costs once again. Good! Now let's see about Profinet for control panel optimization in push buttons and indicator lights. So actually push buttons and indicator lights are the human interface of the machines. Unlike the HMI touchscreens, push buttons and these indicator lights provide tactile feedback. These products will always be necessary and won't actually be replaced, especially for some fundamental functions that you will always have. Our Sirius Act portfolio actually is really easy and nice to use. We will have three things. The first, the actuator, the holder, and the contact modules. Let me show you how this works. Our Sirius Act portfolio is more than this, and actually we have a mass customization with this Sirius Act. This push button that you see here is actually one of many configurations that you can actually have. And in a really easy way, you can actually, with our configurator, online configuration and free configurator actually, you can achieve more than 50,000 configurations. You can decide what you work with. Now imagine all of this flexibility that you will be using in this machine. Yeah, imagine that we have right now a conventional design with a standard HMI display and with some, of course, push buttons that we need for our normal control. Even an emergency stop. Yeah, so we have now more than 6 cables to the IOs of our controller, and then the controller connects this to a higher performance level like engineering or the operator control monitoring. Yeah. Well, the thing here is actually that this actually looks like this. This control panel with power supply unit and controller and operator control and display elements in the enclosure floor look like this. Yeah, all of the cables that you see here, everything has been done for this type of example. Okay, what happens actually if you change to Sirius Act with Profinet? Let me show you in a video how this system works in a high efficiency and easy way to connect every module. Our Serious Act system has a lot of benefits, and let me show you four of them. The first benefit is a simplified circuit. Imagine that you don't only have now the four push buttons that we were talking about. Imagine that you have actually 21 push buttons. Yeah, a lot of cabling, a lot of time, once again, needed for this. Well, what if you actually can simplify those type of circuits, not only in the savings of the wiring, but also in the saving of the IOs that you're using in the PLCs? Something actually that you will be avoiding is actually something that looks like this. Imagine if you save in a lot of these things. You can actually save a lot of costs and time, and this will benefit your profitability, of course. Save mounting times up to 60% versus the classic installation. As a second benefit, increase the plant transparency. Because of the TIA portal diagnostic, you will have automatic detailed diagnostic. And with this, you will do this in an easy way without having to write any single line of code. Switch on as standard, and it's already integrated in the PLC framework that you're using. As a third benefit, it has a really easy configuration, of course based in our TIA portal, with an intuitive hardware configuration and hardware included in the TIA portal hardware config. Fourth benefit, and not least of course, flexibility. Imagine actually that you have the freedom to set the push button at any distance from the PLC. Of course, it depends if you're doing this via Ethernet cable, then you have to have switches every 100 meters between. Wireless, you may have maximum of 100 meters. And if you use fiber optic, you can go until 1 kilometer in distances between the push buttons and the PLCs. So actually, you have flexibility in all applications, either safe or not safe applications, you may use it. Of course, always using a power supply of 24 volts in DC. So imagine the example that we were looking at before as a conventional design. You actually will save the cabling, the time of the cabling, the IOs in the PLCs, not only in the engineering side, but also in the mounting side, saving time and space with Serious Act with Profinet. Reduce costs, improve your efficiency with a modular and with an easy handling installation and commissioning. Innovate now with Serious Act with Profinet. Save time, space, and costs once again. Well, now that I've shown you two solutions that Siemens provides for making your construction the control cabinets more easier, let me show you a third one. Can you imagine actually how much technology can one envelope hold inside? Imagine this piece of paper and we are going to write the requirements that we need. So we actually need something that's multifunctional. We want to have a direct starter, reversing starter, we want safety, and we have overload protection inside of it. Why not? Yeah, we want it to be safe. We want to safety be a part of what we need here. We want it to be digital. We want to have product master data, dimension drawings, 3D models, circuit diagrams, and everything to be easily implemented into our CAE or CAD softwares. We also want it to be economic. Why not to have grab protection and space saving, hybrid technology? Yeah, we'll also want to have all of these things inside of this envelope in an easy way. And of course, we wanted that it's simplified handling with removable terminals, with easy mounting, and a lot of more benefits that we will find. And of course, we want it to be small. So, multifunctional, safe, digital, economic, and with easy handling. Well, let me present to you our 3RM compact starter with hybrid controls inside of it. This 3RM motor starter actually comes and combines a lot of benefits. Space saving is one of them. As a direct starter of a reversing starter, you can save up to 75% in the control cabinet with five key factors that I want to mention at the start. It's compact, simple, economic design, safe system integration, and of course, the product enables optimized configuration within your control panel. It's really compact. It has basically 22.5 millimeter wide with minimal wiring in main and control circuits thanks to group configuration option. It's safe. It can be integrated into a serious modular system, and it's really economical. You can have actually group protection also here. Imagine how easy it is when you actually have this type of mounting with three MSPs, two direct starters, one safety starter, and you want to optimize this into your cabinet. Well, using group protection, you can actually do it in a really easy way with the use of our 3RM1 motor starters. You combine them with our busbar connections using only one motor starter protector as the protection, and as you saw, you save a lot of space. Without going into detail of this ultra compact starter, you see that it has a lot of benefits and a lot of nice things to have in a control panel. With the use of the accessories, you can actually achieve more savings in your control panel construction. Well, we've talked about a lot of products right now, but what about the tools? Well, of course, Siemens has developed some tools for efficient engineering. Why is this needed? Well, basically, previously we had this type of cost distribution when trying to build control panels. And today we're actually seeing and this that the engineering design and documentation needed takes now more time than before because we have to optimize and we have to start thinking how to improve every time and how to improve every time what we do. So basically the working hours are actually higher. This means that your costs are based in working hours also. And once again, we have our little friend, and we have to think about configuration first, and then not only documentation, but the heating, the EMC, the short circuit calculation, line dimensioning, device selection, and a lot of more. What if there are tools actually that help me with this? Well, let me just start with SIMATIS tools. We have three. Well, let me start with something that we call our SIMATIS tools. One of them is SIMATIS Design. It saves you time in device selection of a control panel planning, save time consuming calculation and data research. We have SIMATIS curves that helps you also in the selection of protection devices, and it compares the curves or the characteristic curves or tripping times that you have. So it saves you also a lot of time in the production of documentation. And we have also SIMATIS term, which saves a lot of time consuming when we're talking about the heat inside a control panel. Let me show you them in detail. Basically, SIMATIS Design, it's a tool that you use for dimensioning electrical networks in the basis of real products from medium voltage to the load level. You will only need to know the type of load that you're using and the voltages you're connecting them, and of course the distances. Design actually will calculate short circuit current, load flow, voltage drop, and energy balance in accordance with the generally accepted engineering practice like IEC standards. One of the good things of SIMATIS Design is that, like I said, you will need the load list and define infit network and the dimensions. It will calculate with you a lot of things like load flow, error level calculation, switchgear selection, cable dimensioning, capacitor dimensioning also, and it gives you an output and documentation that you can hand over to your customer, like single line diagrams, parts list, cable plan, and even selectivity documentations. SIMATIS curves actually helps you with the visualization and evaluation of trip characteristics, of course, of Siemens products, Siemens protection products, like breakers or motor starter protectors. Fuses are also inside of this. You can display the characteristics of breaking current and let through energy curves. And it helps you also with a device selection by order number or with easy select function. This one, as well as SIMATIS Design, is free of charge. You can download it easily. The Simaris term calculation tool is actually for calculating the temperature rise in the control panel in 4 easy steps, in accordance with IEC 61439 series. This is simple and compliant for the calculation of the electrical engineers. Basically, you do this in 4 easy steps. First, the project definition in an easy way to, let's say, to create a project with country-specific project creation and country-specific Siemens products. You can then start an easy planning, select the distribution board, enter the ambient temperature, select devices, select even the bus bars that you will use here. The calculation step actually is in accordance with IEC 439 with the selection of required cooling, air conditioning, or heating units. Then, as a fourth step, you will have the project outputs with bill of materials calculation of everything based, of course, in the IEC standards. It's a really user-friendly tool with rapid selections and easy creation of additional crushers, enclosures, and devices. Really efficient with the evaluation of first gear and control gear assemblies in the basis of power loss data already available in a Siemens product master data, compliant with standards also already mentioned. And of course, once again, this is free of charge and this is available for download in siemens.com/Simaris term. I'm showing you 3 of the Simaris tools and now I want to show you 1/4, but this is actually what we call the TIA selection tool. Maybe you have heard about it. This is actually the configurator for the entire Siemens automation and drive portfolio. The tool actually allows you to work in a really flexible way when and whenever you are. It gives you an interface to a wide range of other tools and it's really easy to use. It's a single tool for the entire Siemens portfolio in automation and low voltage products, has interfaces to other type of tools, and you can become a project engineering with an easy and complete plant configuration. Huge time savings and smart selection wizards. A really good thing is actually that we will have in a near future a webinar about the TIA selection tool focused in control panel design. So please stay tuned for more of this information. So the TIA selection tool has an interface to other tools like mentioned before. One of them is TIA Portal or ECAD system, and here is what we call a digital tool change. The Automation ML or AML in short enables you to exchange a lot of configuration between all of these products in an easy way. As examples in the TIA selection tool, we have our setup power supplies with a quick and easy selection of the right power supply, depending, of course, the loads that you have or the number of IOs on PLCs. And actually, it's a simple software integration also into TIA Portal with system diagnosis, especially for the PSU 8600 for quick and easy fault locations. It has function blocks. It has even a setup manager that's free online and offline engineering tool. Newer, simple, and shutdown device also for IPCs. More of these examples, including also how load feeders are configured in the TIA selection tool, you will see in our webinar that I mentioned before. Well, folks, I've shown you the best way to your new control panel. You saw how fast, simple, and efficient it is to save time and space. Of course, also costs. Now you know how to improve today's solution for your tomorrow control panels and how to optimize everything that you're doing with standard products. You've realized now that actually this is easy to implement now with a multifunctional standard. And also how easy to use the tools are, easy to handle, and free tools for everyday tasks. We enable you to design your control panel even more efficiently. That's actually the wrap up for today. I would like to thank you a lot for joining me today. Thank you for your attention. My colleagues are currently working throughout the questions you asked during the presentation. The chat is still open for a few minutes, so if you have any more questions, just please get in touch. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you in our next series of the control panel webinars. I'd like to invite you, of course, to find other resources available in siemens.com/control panel. Goodbye, and see you next time.